To the first week of the Dean's Pro Series. That's Dean's Flowers Pro Series, where we're featuring the Men's Pro League. And this is a 7-week series, straight elimination. And we've got $1,000 in prize money up for stake over the next 7 weeks as we work down, knocking out those teams that have already battled all year long. These are the actual league teams that you're going to see bowling here tonight. We've got 8 of them, and they're going to beat each other away for the next few weeks here. So this should be good. Well, Jackie, who do you have on your team?
Well, Craig, I was just going to say a few things here pertaining to this Pro League. It started a few years ago, and it's run out at the Kmart. They do have one in Halifax, which you're going to see at the 8th week, Halifax versus the Dartmouth Pro League, so it should be very exciting. But these fellows are all top-notch bowlers, so you're going to really see some good, fine bowling for the next 8 weeks, and you're going to hear a lot of hollering and shouting and screaming and going on, but this is the way bowling is, and like you say, Craig, it's going to be a fun series. Dean's, I believe, is sponsoring this. Compliments of, I believe, Wayne Dickey. So, like you say, Craig, the first team we have that you're looking at right now, I believe, is the Chateau wine team, I think.
Yes, it is.
And the gentlemen are that'll be bowling tonight. You got Dougie Blackader. He'll be bowling anchor. You have John Thorne will be bowling fourth, a great new Waterford bowler. You got, I think that is... Andre. If I don't get your first name right, I get your last name wrong. So, Andre Gendron.
If you get his first name right, I'll get the last name wrong.
Yeah. Andre Gendron will be bowling third. James Parent will be bowling second. And Sheldon Buffett will be bowling leadoff. And their team average is 568. So, you're looking at about 112 per man there, Craig.
Yes. Now then, as we'll get back over, that's the Chateau team. But then coming back on the next team in a moment, we'll have the threway muffler team. And they're coming through with just a slightly lower pinfall count of 661. These averages are all based on the end of the year average. They're all totaled up. And we've got the team coming up there now. We'll do a quick run through of who our two competitive teams will be tonight. So we're going to see as anchor bowler for threway, we're going to have Brian Dagnall. And as I said, their team total is 661 versus a 673 for Chateau Wines. So we've got about a 12-point advantage for Chateau. But needless to say, we've got, for threway, we're going to have Brian Dagnall as anchor bowler. Then we have Rick Dyer. He's the captain of the team for the year. He'll be fourth on the list. And then Cliff McKay is to throw in third place. Jerry Cole. And opening ball will be thrown by Brian Dagnall for threway muffler. And these guys have some outstanding averages coming out of the Men's Pro League, as they all are. So without further ado, I think we're about ready to get things underway. And we should have a really interesting match tonight with a lot of good giveaways. Again, we've got Florida trips giving away tonight. Flowers going out as well.
We have bags. I got to look around and see what we got.
We have the knapsack draw going out to the YVC bowlers. We've got the Canards Bowling for Bucks segments coming up as well. So with this, we'll start the bowling off, then we'll get into the draws a little later. So here we go, fellows. We're ready to begin. So we've got Sheldon Buffett. He's on the right side of your screen, throwing for Chateau. He's up against Brian McDonald.
And this is a single-string knockout. So the loser, and it will be done on pinfall, 5-man team pinfall, they will go on the wayside. The winner will come back.
Now, Sheldon Buffett, you see up there right now, he was bowling very strong in the season with a 111 average, 111.45. He's bowling against Brian McDonald with a 109.25 average. So an opening 10 for Sheldon Buffett. And a 10 for also Brian McDonald. Let's also recall, Jackie, we didn't mention all the draws. We have a case of Coke going out to the first strike tonight as well.
Oh.
So that's about our, the first giveaway of about 5, I think we have ahead of us here. This is better than any lottery show, I think.
That was not a bad break for Sheldon. Oh, Brian was also on the front pin and punched her straight through. Sheldon's got a good shot here. Oh, great try. Also a good shot there by Brian McDonald. He's got himself set up here for a pretty good 10. Here's Sheldon Buffett looking at the 3-pin. Brian should get 10 here. Oh, he hit the wood Too clean.
Both men taking 9. So that's leaving them neck to neck at 19 each right now. And now we've got Jerry Cole coming up, and leading off will be James Parent. James Parent's running for Chateau Wines.
Hey, very smooth bowler. There's
Jerry wasn't on that front pin, but it's only the opening box. He'll bring that ball in.
Well, James has got the 4-7 here. No problem.
And as we saw, a nice spare there for James. James finished up this season with a 107 average. And on the other side here, we're looking at Jerry. Jerry had a 102.5 average.
Well, Jerry hasn't been in the bowling game that long, maybe 4 or 5 years, Craig, and we'll be easy with him tonight. I know Jerry's a very popular entertainer throughout the metro area and also New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. And
I hear if you need a guitar, he's the man to talk to.
Hey, he's good. He's got it. James is on that front pin.
Yeah, Jerry's another great character to have in the bowling industry here. He's certainly a lot of fun whenever he's around. He certainly makes for a real nice atmosphere.
He sure does. James has got a tough shot here, Craig. Oh, Jerry's going to get off first, but... Well,
I think we're going to have a vocal crowd here tonight, like you mentioned. They're starting up, and they're just getting warmed up like the bowlers.
Well, good 10 there for Jerry. And a 9 for James.
So next up, we're going to have Andre Gendron leading off, again for Chateau Gay, and he's up against Cliff McKay. Cliff is bowling for Threway Muffler and operates King's Crowns Hair Salon on Spring Garden Road. Nice ball there by Cliff. He's got an excellent layout. We'll get back to that in a moment. Here goes Andre.
Oh, great cleanup by Andre. Tough piece of wood here for Cliff McKay.
Ooh.
That made it tougher. He had to get by that nose of the wood, but I don't think this other wood is any good either, Craig, when we get back to that. And there's a good 10 by Andre.
Yeah, this wood's not going to help him at all, but
not bad.
A slight little bit. He hit it low enough.
A couple of good 10s. The pinning has been excellent in this Pro League, but we can't be too easy on this Pro League either, Craig. Now, these are the... They call themselves the Pro League, so this is the best. And I like the way they do the Pro League. They don't always have the best on the same team. So they do it by a draft. Every year in September, they do a draft. And the lowest average captain will pick first. Oh, another punch-out for Cliff McKay. But we're going to see some excellent bowling here. We're going to see some big games. Andre's got a tough shot here, Craig. 7 and 9. He'll probably play it in on the 7 pin, the one in the corner. Great shot.
Beautiful shot, Andre, yes. Cliff's got a whack of pins. He hit that a little low, but... Cliff right now looking at the 2, 3, 4, and 7 pin.
Excellent 8.
Yeah, he certainly played that one well. Now we've got Rick Dyer coming up, and we're going to have John Thorne leading off for Chateau Gay.
Threway Muffler are still looking for their first mark, Craig, and Chateau Gay has a couple. There's John Thorne, a great product of New Waterford, Nova Scotia. If you want to meet John, you go out to the Rotary Auto Parts. That's where you'll find him. And he's up against a tough one, and that of Rick Dyer.
Yeah, now John Thorne, he pulled through this year with a 114.56 average. Rick Dyer, he came out with a stronger 120.38 average, being the captain of Rick's team.
Great try there by Rick Dyer. John Thorne going for 10. There's an 8 for Rick Dyer. The loser is going to go and sit on the wayside and get his golf clubs up, right? The winners will come back.
That's right. And we'll see if Rick can throw us a strike here. We're still waiting for the first one. And if he can, and if Rick can bring his team through to be number one in this series, first place team and position is worth $400. Second place, $300. Third, $150, and $150 for fourth place. We've also got, for the high single of this series, $30 going out to that bowler. And for the second high single, $20.
Look at this shot. It's been a lot of punchos, I should say, on alley 9, Craig. Straight through the middle, and then they seem to be a little looser over on alley 10.
Oh, I think that's your imagination, Jack.
Okay.
Now, how could you explain looser pins on lane 10?
Well, I'm just watching what the boys are knocking down. They seem to be falling a little looser over in alley 10. They're hitting the front pin on alley 9 and going straight through. Straight through, I should say. Here's a good matchup right here. Dougie Blackler and Brian Dagnall.
Yeah, Doug Blackler, he's the captain of the Shadow Gay Wines team, and he bowled this season with a 125.4 average. Outstanding. Brian Dagnall, he's the second man on the three-way muffler team and bowling anchor as well as Dougie, and Brian had a 116 average. 116.78. And each man taking in 9.
Well, we're getting off to a little bit of a slow start here with the Dean's Pro League Championship Division, but I'm sure it's going to open up.
Yeah, these guys are just getting warmed up. We'll wait. We're still early. The first 2 boxes, we're just finishing up here. So to follow, we've got certainly some very hot bowling to come here yet. Nice try there by Dougie.
And the viewers are probably saying out there they're all wearing reds and white sweaters, but the Pro League is sponsored by Coca-Cola. So after the first 2 boxes here of this opening round, Craig, we have Shadow Gay that have 2 marks, and three-way muffler have 0.
So yes, a very quiet start it has been.
Good action there by Sheldon Buffett. Brian just off the front pin. Sheldon splits a 1-2 here. He should make this. Just missed the front pin.
So 10 for Sheldon Buffett, and Brian McDonald's going to have to settle for a 9.
So Brian McDonald is 28 after 3, and Sheldon Buffett is 29. Very close match.
Yeah, it has. We're certainly not seeing an impressive lead being taken on by either team at this point. Although pinfall-wise, looks like Sheldon Buffett's side is up a little bit.
Here's Brian McDonald. Ooh, on the outside. Sheldon's having trouble finding that front pin on the second ball. 9 for Brian McDonald. Nine for Sheldon Buffett. Brian McDonald, after 4 boxes, 37. Sheldon Buffett at 38. 1 pin in the difference.
Yeah, now we've got Jerry Cole about to lead off. He's on the left side of your screen. Jerry now is 19 after 2. He's bowling against James Parent this evening. He was at 25, had a spare in the first box. Jerry still didn't find that front pin.
Good action.
Certainly, good action, yes.
Look at this, there it goes.
I can
I'll
the
tell ya.
5-pin fell last there, Jack.
There was no doubting. Oh, good shot by
Hey,
Jerry Cole. So,
almost as good as a strike. He threw a spare.
Lots of noise. You like to hear it. This is what team events are all about.
Yeah, these guys really pump themselves up.
So James Parent wins the case of Coke. Oh,
Ooh, gee.
great shot there by Jerry Cole. He might get it yet. That wood is rolling back. Not hard enough, I don't think.
Nice try there by James, but just not quite enough to do it. So 10 for Jerry, and James Parent here should be looking at a pretty easy 10 as well. But he didn't quite make it, so we'll give him a 9.
You're right, Craig. He should have had that one. It's the old saying, the one that got away. Oh, good hit by Cliff McKay. Solid 7-pin. Andre was on a mark. He picked up 3.
And a nice spare for Cliff.
Oh. Almost another spare there for Andre. Nine for Andre Gendron. He's at 32. Cliff McKay is at 28, but he's working on a mark. Throwing a bonus ball here. Great count. Picks up a big H. This shot that Cliff McKay's got, Craig, the 410. I'd almost played off the red band, that front wood, and ball carry him over, take the 4, and the wood go through and take the 10.
Yeah, I think that's probably your best approach.
Ooh, jumped right over the 4-pin. Good try.
And Andre just off that head pin again for a second ball where he needed to be. And he took out the 9-pin. So that's only giving Andre 7 pins for that box. So that's going to leave Andre at 39 after 4. And Cliff McKay at 45 after the first 4 with 1 spare working into that. So we got Rick Dyer ready to throw his first ball of this 3rd box. Rick's at 18 after 2. Right on that head pin.
Good
Not
action.
a bad break at all, no. Here goes John Thorne, who's 19. Not a great break there for John.
No, there's been a lot of that punching out the middle sections tonight, Craig, especially on the LE9. Excellent shot by Rick Dyer.
Yes, that
Made
was.
the diamond. That's 3 in a row there. Oh, look at that shot. You're going to see some great shot making by these pro bowlers. Excellent cleanup there by John Thorne. Excellent 10.
I'd also like to pass along a note of thanks to another helpful sponsor for this series, who is Lewis Lake Contracting. They contributed to some of the prize money going out for this series.
It's nice to have those sponsors, Craig.
Yeah, well, so thank you, Lewis Lake Contracting.
Can't survive without them.
Certainly no.
So drink their product, eat their product,
Yes,
and buy their product.
if you need some contracting work done, call Lewis Lake.
Good cleanup for Rick Dyer. Puts him at 44. John Thorne gets a 10. He's at 39 for 4 without a mark.
So excellent pinning there for John nonetheless.
That's right.
So we've got Brian Dagnall leading off, Jackie. He's the anchor bowler for Threway Muffler. He's not on the mark. Nor is Doug Blackler. Doug getting ready to throw right.
Another 2 bad spots there. Brian was a little better hit, but left of it. He got some good wood down here. He hits nose this wood. He could make it. Wrong side. Dougie's got the 4, 7, 6, 10. See what Dougie does with this. I'll give you a pin count, Craig, right after this. These gentlemen finish their 4th frame. It's very, very close right now. I'd say it's probably in around about 2 or 3 pins.
And a hard punch through for Doug.
We've seen a lot of them very early in this match. Brian hits the side and leaves a good spare chance. 1, 2, 7.
Yeah, he's got a piece of wood there that might just come back to help him out a little bit.
You got to hit the front one to get it. Excellent 10.
And as well for Doug. So that leaving Brian at 37 after 4 and Doug at 37. After the first 4 boxes are complete for each team. So we've got Brian Dagnall's team through a muffler up 3 pins after the 4 boxes. So very, very close match. This is nice to see.
Brian's having a lot of trouble getting in that front pin. And so is Sheldon, but Sheldon's got an excellent break here. 1 and 9. And missed the front one again.
And nice
Shot
second
by
ball
Brian.
there. 4 horsemen and spared it up.
We all know how tough that shot is, Craig.
So looking after the first 4 boxes on the Threway Muffler team, I think for the first 4 high boxes goes to Jerry Coles, 46 after 4. And on Chateau Gay Wines, the star down that side of the slate is got to be James Parent at 53, Jack.
That's right. Heck, James, he won the case of Coke. Got the first strike.
Yeah, and he had a spear in the opening box. So I think we're going to see a real nice game by James this evening.
Brian picks up 2 on his mark. Spare for Sheldon Buffett. So Brian gets a 10 here. Now he gets a 7. So he wasted his spare. He got 2 on his mark and 7 in the box for a total of 19.
So now we're back to Jerry Cole and James Parent right now. And as we said, James is hot. He's running 53. Jerry's also high for the first 4 boxes on the Threway team.
James is a very smooth bowler.
He delivers a nice ball. Now here goes Jerry. Don't know what happened to Jerry there, but boy, he came out with a nice break, a 7-pin break, and I think he was on the 4-pin with that one.
Jerry will say when he's watching the show, that's the stuff on the ball. James is just waiting for this rolling deadwood. He's got the 6-9, good wood in there. Anywhere's on the 6-pin, he should have it. That's 3 in a row.
And look at that. Well done there by Jerry. Beautiful cleanup.
Great shot by Jerry Cole.
That was a nice pair of...
Well, he deserved that
indeed.
break,
Yes.
Craig. He hit way down the side, and the stuff that Jerry's got on the ball just left him with that easy spear chance and lots of good deadwood. What?
Yeah, these guys are both got that second ball working excellently for them. Yeah, it takes an 8 on a spare. And Jerry was again off that hit, and he's going to take a 6. So see right now
James
we've...
Shot here that he's almost got to hit this dead on, Craig, to get to 1 and 9. Oh, I'll tell you. Great shot.
I'll tell you, we've got some close match going here. Depending on what comes out of this right now, we've got the three-way muffler team up 1 pin over Chateau. And as it is, that just turned, we've got Chateau up 1 pin, Jackie.
Well, I pushed Jerry Cole at 70 and James Parent at 81. Andre Gendron on the front pin. Oh, not bad. I got some late action there. Oh,
Hey.
good shot.
Well done there again. Oh, a little slip there by Cliff, and the ball went the other way.
Nine for Cliff McKay. Puts him at 54. Andre Gendron is at 49, but he has a spare working for him. Okay, here goes Andre right here.
Ooh,
Not
nice,
bad.
nice follow indeed. Again, off that head pin. Now, Cliff is right on there. He unleashed a pretty good ball. He's got 7 pins, a piece of wood rolling back there. Hopefully it'll come in nice and tight. Looks like it should. And it did. Now, here's Andre. He's looking at the 1 and 3 pin. Geez, he's off to the left side again.
Bad miss there for Andre. What Cliff will do here is play the side of the pin. Too high.
Whoa, but
Ooh, he almost
so
stole it.
close. He almost did, yes.
Yeah.
So now we're back to, who do we have? John Thorne leading off. Yeah, John, who's at 39. Rick Dyer's at 44. So, and as it looks right now, John's team is up 10 pins. Nice ball by Rick, but he just sliced that head pin a little too finely.
John's got them all in the bunch here, Craig. Anytime you take off the corner pins, if he hits a 1 and 3, he should make this. Missed the front pin. Good shot here for Rick Dyer. It's makeable.
Ooh, geez, he pulled that one awfully close.
Little full on the 3 pin, but it was a good shot. Eight for John.
Rick's just shooting for that kingpin, and there it goes. So we got a 10 for Rick. That's going to pull his team ahead even a couple more points, I believe, putting them right now at a pin advantage over Threway Muffler.
Speaking of kingpin, Craig, that's what David Spicer is, kingpin, passport. Getting ready to open very, very shortly.
Yeah, that's right. You fellows do have a new dealership opening up.
Right on our same lot. David's going to give away all kinds of goodies. I understand Dean's flowers are involved, and David's hoping to open up sometime around the end of May.
Yeah, that's the new Passport and Isuzu line, is it?
And Trooper.
And Trooper we see around. Best of luck to you, David, and I know you've got a grand opening coming up, so we'll be watching for that.
John Thorne had an excellent out there, left the 5-pin. Rick Dyer's got the 7 and 10 here, and what he's doing, he's talking to his captain, Brian Dagnall. Well, I'm sorry, Rick is the captain, but I don't know, I'd almost play this one down number 7. One over on the left.
Yeah, I think that's where I'd be dropping her too, but he's going for the right side.
I'd have played it, well, it's easy to say now the shot is completed, but I'd have played it down in the 7-pin.
Although that wood did look awfully appetizing laying out front. It just didn't sweep back far enough as it slid across the plate. But we've got a ways to go, yes.
Yes, we're in the 5th and 6th box here. This Dean's Pro Classic. Good action.
Brian punching through in the 3, taking up the 3 and the 9. Not what he wants to see at all. Nor what his team really wishes to see, this being a team competition.
Ooh. How often do you see that? Dougie Blackler missed a 9-pin break. You don't see that too often.
Ooh, and a hard 5 for Brian Dagnall. That's not helping that Threway team out at all. They had picked up their quite a few pins there, but now they're still at the point where they are trailing by 7 pins behind Chateau Gay.
I think it's up to 12 now, Craig. Dougie got the 10 and Brian got the 5, so he picked up 5 pins. Good as a mark.
You're right, yes.
He comes right back with a good 8-pin split. Good wood to boot. He's got the 3-5. Look at that shot. Now this is good out there by Dougie Blackler. Now what Brian's got to do here, he can play the wood or he can play the pin. This is sort of a trick shot. You don't know which way to go. He missed it cleanly. Hit it on the nose.
So 10 for each gentleman on that. Ball, that being their 6th box and the final 6th box of this team affair. Where right now is this, as we are, we're entering the 7th and 8th with Brian Dagnall. I'm sorry, we don't have Brian Dagnall left. Where are we here, Jackie?
We got
Sheldon and Brian McDonald.
Yeah. And it's, I believe, 12 pins in favor of the Chateau Gale wines, I guess it is. I'll get it open before the night's over.
And that's right. So that's putting a little more heat on our men coming up on lane number 10. One of them being Brian Dagnall here, knowing that he is down. I think as it stands right now, their team... Ooh, I don't know if I read that correctly, but I think they're down 20 pins, Jack.
Yeah, Sheldon was on a mark there and picked up 8 on it, Craig, and that put it up to 20. Now up to 22. Brian McDonald had an 8 box, and Sheldon had 10. So this is the box where you like to, especially for Threway Muffler, they like to get some marks here. You don't want to get down too many. Sheldon, the good break there, 1, 6, and 7. Right now we're looking at Brian McDonald. Great shot. A big spear.
That was. That's Brian's second spare of the evening.
A 9 for Sheldon Buffett. Put Sheldon Buffett at 84 and Brian McDonald's at 74 with the spare working.
Boy, these are a pair of nice bouquets we have in front of us here.
Very smart.
We get this nice foliage here and flowers. As to date, a very nice touch. Courtesy of Dean's, and this coming into Secretary's Week. So both these, I'm told, are secretary arrangements, Jackie. These are the FTD book.
They look good to me.
They look good here, and I guess they'd look the same if they were sent over to France even. You'd have the same arrangement wherever you'd like to send those.
Well, James had to be on the front pin there, and he had a pretty good setup, but missed the front pin, and he's an 8 for Jerry Cole. And Jerry's bowling very, very well here tonight. He's at 78 for 7. He's 8 over par. Good pinning by James, puts him at 91. And he
So Jerry's got a lot of pins to make up for. He's been doing fairly well, but his teammates have dropped a few pins. They've got 23 of those white and red striped things down there to make up for. And Jerry's looking at a bit of a tough break here.
good shot.
Yeah, he
Little
took
full.
out the 1 and the 8. Nice out there by James Perrin.
Jerry will play the safe 2 in the corner here. Oh, he went for the bundle.
Here goes James. James is still looking at that head pin. And we're still looking at that head pin. So that's going to be a 9 for James. So where's that going to leave James? He's at an even 100, so a fine game there.
Bowling well. He's leading all bowlers here tonight. And we are in the 7th and 8th frame. And this Dean's Flowers Classic. Oh, good hit by...
So we should start yelling at this pin, I think, Jack.
Well, it gets the team up. That's gives Cliff a better shot at it. And
that
big
was
mark
it.
there for...
I think he's got to
muffler.
thank his teammates for... hey, that was a nice pinfall again by Andre. Andre's really come around since the opening when he couldn't seem to get on that head pin. He's made up for it with these second balls. And Andre right now, he's running with 3 spares into his game. So he's 77 and open after 7 boxes. And on the other side, too, we got Cliff McKay. He's open after 7 at 74. So close game between these two fellows. They're certainly keeping the pace.
It's another mark for threway muffler that they have 2 on. They have a few of those here in this match tonight.
Andre picked up a few more pins on that spare in favor of Shadow Gay Wines. Now, Jack, I think you had to hear them, but we've got the second show warming up at the far end of this bowling center, and they sound louder than the teams we already have up here. So we should have a very, very exciting match to follow. Certainly a very vocal match, anyhow.
Oh, yeah. All right, now, Shadow Day is opening up a 32-pin lead. And we are in the 7th and 8th frame, and we'll go to the scoreboard for a very short rundown, and then we're going to have some draws, I guess, Craig.
We'll have draws and a nice little recap of where we've gone with today's match. So as we touched on earlier, our first place team is rolling for $400 on a lot of prize money they've already run. And for the next show, we'll try and get a recap of how much money these bowlers have won to date in this year's series. Be interesting for us all to know. But they were bowling for somewhere between $12,000 to $14,000.
What a shot by John Thorne. Great spear by John Thorne. Excellent 10 there by Rick Dyer. Well, Chateau Gay Wines are opening up a 32-pin lead here, and they've got a mark open. John Thorne. Threway Muffler is going to have to get a mark out of Rick Dyer here to bring it home. And that won't do it. You got to get on the front pin. Five on John Thorne's mark, puts him at 71.
Rick Dyer, who's had one spare in the third box. Gonna see if he can make himself a second one here.
He did.
Yes.
Great
Played that
big
well.
spear for Rick Dyer. Their Threway Muffler's not out of this yet. They're down 37, but they have two marks open.
Yeah, nice try there by John. He didn't fare too bad with that one. Took a 9 out of the few pins he had standing. So you've got the Canards for bucks coming up, Jackie. Who do we have today?
I think it's Frances McDougall, is it?
I would believe it would be. She
She sends us a nice little card here and loves the show and thinks that Sparky and Annette Tanner are the two greatest female bowlers in Halifax Dartmouth. Hey, look at that shot.
That was a solid spare because he had a whole whack of pins left there after that opening ball. And on Dougie's side, he matched her.
She's starting to heat up.
To no surprise.
Starting to heat up. You can hear from the action in the background. And we mentioned this series where we were closing out our skins game that it's going to be a good, noisy match. And this is what makes it very interesting. I hope they keep it up. Look, Brian was lucky to get a 5 there. He's down on the 6-10 and picked up 5.
Yes, so.
Dougie's got a good shot here.
Okay, and just after these boxes, we're going to go to the scoreboard and start some of these draws. Now, do we want to break these bowlers here, Jackie, and go to the scoreboard? We'll try and do that. Brian, Sheldon, we're going to go to the scoreboard right now and begin some of these draws as well. Do you want to start with the scoreboard, Jackie?
Sure, we'll go right to the scoreboard. I'm just doing
You do such a nice job. Let's see you do it again. See if you can do a better job than last time.
Well, if the scores aren't that high, Craig, but I'll tell you, it's a very close match. Chateau Gay has a 39-pin lead over Threway Muffler, but Threway Muffler have two open marks, and I'm sure Dougie Blackler has one open down the bottom there. So right now you're looking at the Threway Muffler. They're on the top of the scoreboard. Brian McDonald, he's at 74 with the spear working. Pinning not all that bad. The last couple of boxes he had a 7 and 8 in there, but Brian's been pinning very, very well. Jerry Cole, probably his first time on, has 2 marks. He's at 85, 5 over par. Cliff McKay, who's got 2 marks with a total of 10 on them, Craig, and he's at 82. He's dropped 8 pins. In the last frame there, he had a 6, and that 2 on that mark sort of hurt Cliff there, but the type of bowler that Cliff is, he'll probably a mark or 2 coming home. Rick Dyer is just pinning excellent. Started with an 8, then he has approximately, I think, 5 10s and 2 spears. He has a spear open for him there in the 8th. He's at 84. Then you've got Brian Dagnall, who has 1 mark. He's at 77, and Brian's not up to par at all. He had 1 bad box in there in the 5th frame. He's with a 5 box. But at 77, I know Brian would like to have a couple of marks coming home, and Brian is just not on that front pin. So they are down 39 pins. Then you look at the Chateau Gay Wines. Sheldon Buffett He's at 84 with 1 mark with 8 on it, pinning very well. James Parrott is at 100. He's going to be our bowling for bucks. He has 2 spares and 1 strike. Andre Jondron, he's at 92 with 3 marks, bowling excellent. John Thorne, who has 1 spare with 5 on it, he's at 80. And you got Dougie Blackler, who got 2 big marks here in the 7th and 8th frame. He has 1 open there for him in the 8th frame. He's at 85. So after 8 boxes, you have Chateau Gay Wines leading Threway Muffler by 39 pins.
Yeah, so running very tight. That's a nice way to see it. We've got 20 more boxes to follow. So anything can certainly happen. At this point, it's nice to see the game is far from over. So we'll start off with a draw here, Jackie.
Oh, we'll go bowling for bucks.
Bowling for bucks first at B. We'll get James Perrins up. Yeah, James Perrin, please. James will come up. He's been the hot shot bowler to date. He's 100 after the first 8 boxes. So undoubtedly, with a nice impressive lead after 8 boxes, he's bowling well, and he's up here to win some money for Francis McDougall. And as you know, it's $25 for a strike, $15 for the spare, and $1 for each pin after that, courtesy of Kennards.
Well, it's not bad. That's makeable. He's got the diamond plus the 10. He splits at 2-4. The 2 will go off the 5 and take the 10. Okay?
Yeah, and that's just where he wants to throw that ball.
That's right. This is for $15, Francis. Oh, he missed it cleanly.
Just out a bit too much. Missed that 2, unfortunately.
See if you get 10 here and play the 2 pin. 1 on the left.
2 over. Just missed that 10 pin. But anyhow, that's $9, Francis. Thanks for writing in. And if you'd like to be a contestant, remember, it's just Basie Lanes, Kennards Bowling for bucks at 4 Pine Street Extension here in Dartmouth. So now we can give away some fun stuff, Jack. Hold it. Here we are. Ruffle them up. Ruffle them up. Nothing up your sleeve as you're not wearing anything today.
I hope not.
Okay. And this one goes to a bowler from our Forest Hills Bowling Center. This is going to Kay Lundergan of the Hermes League. Now, Kay Lundergan, I think we've given something to her before, perhaps, but it hasn't been a Florida trip. But Kay Lundergan of the Hermes League, congratulations. A trip for 2 to Florida, Orlando, airfare, accommodations, car rental. You've got it all, and you'll have a nice time. And now, that was spectacular. And to follow YBC bowlers, please watch. We've got a draw coming up for the knapsack draw.
There it is.
This is it. Jackie just passed me the name of, and it looks like Carrie Hazel. Carrie Hazel, bowling out of Pine Street in Dartmouth. Congratulations. We've got a knapsack here. It's a nice blue high seas Baisley knapsack. And so Carrie Hazel, bowling out of Pine Street, YBC, Youth Bowling Council. Congratulations. And, we've got a couple of bouquets to give away, too.
Give those away, too?
Let's do it. Give it all away. We won't hold anything back. These are courtesy of Dean's Flowers, going out to, again, league bowlers of Basley's with perfect attendance for the last 2 weeks. This one going to John Michaud of the Pope John the 13th League. 23rd, I'm sorry. So John Michaud out of bowling out of Forest Hills. We have one arrangement for you, and we'll deliver that out to you. And the second one going to Fred McDowell of the City Hall League, bowling at Forest Hills. So Fred McDowell, we've got all sorts of winners from Forest Hills, Jackie. I don't know how this happened, but three to four draws going out to Forest Hills. So Kay Lundergan, congratulations to Florida. John Michaud of Pope John the 23rd, and Fred McDowell of City Hall League at Forest Hills. Flowers to both of you, and Dean's Flowers said they would deliver those to you. So, without further ado, we'll get back to the bowling right now, to the 9th and 10th frame of this exciting series. And these bowlers want to go on into the second series to try and get their hands into part of the $400 going out for first prize. That going on to a lot of prize money these bowlers have already won during this series, with thousands and thousands of dollars going out in this pro league. And this being another $1,000 on to probably $12,000 to $14,000 already gone out.
$33 pins.
That's where we're at, is it?
33, yeah.
So perhaps Threway Muffler do have a fair bit of work cut out for them after all.
Oh, bad 8 there for Brian. So it's 33, and they each have a mark. Brian's got to get a mark here.
Yeah, it's very important, certainly, that he does pull out the mark. This is his last box of this game.
Well, Sheldon's is going to be a tough one. Brian's is going to be tough. Ooh.
Ooh.
Brian's digging himself a hole down there.
Yeah, he couldn't afford that shot at all.
Here's 8 for Sheldon Buffett. He puts him in 100. And a 4 for Brian McDonald. Puts him at a 92. So Brian coming in with 109 average. He was 17 pins below his average, and Sheldon Buffett came in at 111, and he's 11 pins below his average. So the first 2 leadoff men, as one would say, didn't do their job.
Yeah, that certainly didn't cut it. It's very, very far below their normal bowling averages as well. And there goes James Parent. Remember, he was our Canards bowler, and he is 100 after 8. Jerry, that was a deserved strike, I tell you. Surprised that 7 pin stood.
That's what they need, a couple of strikes. And, of course, James has got a great shot here. Hits a single pin on the 5 pin right down the center lane. He should make it.
That should do it. He didn't, yeah. Now, Jerry, this for the spare, and oh.
Oh, that's a bad miss there by Jerry Cole.
That was. Their team down, what, roughly 37 pins or so, Jack, at this point? So that's going to throw some more pins to the favor of Shadowgate Wines. That was one shot that was unfortunate to see Jerry not come through with, because he certainly gave a few more pins there to Shadowgate Wines, increasing the 37-pin lead with whatever James throws in this first opening ball.
You're talking double strike range. So that takes it up to 43. And oh, good shot. There's a spare there for Jerry Cole.
Well, that's good to see, I tell you. They need quite a few more of those. Maybe.
Well, he missed that easy 9-pin break there, but like you say, he came right back, and good cleanup there by James.
You got to give Jerry some credit here, because he certainly came through for his team. He's 105 in open right now.
Yes, and he come in with 102 average, so he did his job. James had a fine game, 126. Seven. So I think that puts us down to somewhere around about 36 pins. Now they got to get 2 marks out of Cliff McKay. And that's not the place you want to hit when you're going for marks. Good cleanup.
Oh, and Cliff didn't quite come through. Just still missing that head pin with that third ball. But so Cliff will take a 7, leaving him 89 after the first 9, and Andre Gendron is at 102 after 9. So giving a 39-pin lead in favor of Shadowgate Wines. Well, it's interesting to see. They actually had a 12-pin lead, team-wise average, coming into this match, and they've certainly increased that threefold to the point where they're at 39-pin advantage. So there weren't really any hidden surprises here this evening.
No, there wasn't, Craig. And this is the opening match. I thought the scores would be a little higher, but I think as we get into a few weeks here, they're going to increase. Fine game by Andre Gendron. And Cliff McKay at 97. Now you have Rick Dyer and John Thorne. Rick needs a double strike. He's on a mark and needs a big double.
Bang, he was nicely on that head pin, too. He's got a pretty good break happening here, though. That was almost a delayed strike. John Thorne, nice shot, yes. Now Rick's got some tricky wood hanging out in front there.
Yes, he has, and it turned a little bit, but I don't think it's. I think he's going to have to go left of the red band here.
He's certainly got to play this one a bit high.
That's it.
Well, spare, they need it. Let's see what happens. So 10 for John. So the three-way team, we're happy to see that John didn't pick up a mark there, and Rick did. But he's got to throw a strike on this one.
That's right. He's got to get a. He almost needs a double strike here because Dougie Blackler is open at the bottom here, and Brian's not open, and it's 31 pins.
Okay.
Another good hit by John, left the 5-7.
Well, this is a very important ball for Rick. Their team right now is trailing by 31 pins. Oh, that's not where he had to throw that ball, but he's going to take a 5 on the spare, and he's open for a spare anyhow in this final box.
That makes it 26. Oh,
Ooh.
Great chip shot there by John Thorne.
He
I'll
almost
say.
spared that up. That would have ended this match.
That's right.
Oh, what happened to that?
He just hit it too high out. Rick was trying to get real low on that. There's a 99 for John Thorne. He hit better than that. I'm sure he'll take that. That one's glued, Rick.
I don't know how that ball exactly slid through that, but it did. So that's an 8. And that's
27 pins, and
these are the final
Dougie.
2 boxes right now. And
Blackler is open, and he got 6. I think he's got enough. This match is over.
without a strike from Brian Dagnall, yes, that did it. And Brian certainly was one man who probably could have come through and thrown a double back-to-back. But it's a bit too late, as you say.
Yeah.
So, Jock, as it stands right now, we're going to have the Shadowgate team moving onward.
There's no question.
With that strike, there's absolutely no question. Now look, a strike on both sides here.
That's what I thought the boys might do coming out, but like I say, they opened it up. This is the first week, and so maybe, you know, get a week or two into this, we're going to see some powerful scores. We all know what they can do, and
yeah, so as it stands, too, coming up next week, we have Curry's Insurance Services bowling against the Steve Butler Show team, I should say. And captains of those teams for Curry's, we have David Crease as captain and Dave Julian as captain of the Steve Butler Show. So those two teams are matched very, very closely. They both had high averages. The Steve Butler Show team had a 6.71 total for the 6 bowlers, and Curry's Insurance had a 6.74 average. So we're talking 3 pins apart over 6-man teams. Now there was almost a double, too.
Brian was going for the double because while we were waiting for the pins to set there, that he said if I get a double, it cost each bowler $1. So
Yeah.
Fine game by Dougie Blackler, 120. And a great finish by Brian Dagnall for 117.
Yeah, he's finished that up nicely.
So there you have it, Craig. Our first
That's-
week of the Dean's Pro Classic.
Yes, and That was a good first week. Unfortunately, the match ended a little early. And but I think to come, these bowlers certainly are going to give us the best scores we should see out of any series rolling.
Yeah.
Next to the Skins game we just wrapped up.
Got a great shot there at Joyce McDonald, that says statistician on her